Hi there, Dr. Laura for week 5 of ED SE 607. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to first start with the assignments. So let's move over to here. And you will notice that I did not have a recording for week 4, but if you go into week 4, you should have been reading Banks chapter 5 and 6 and Domain 4 discussion board. These are things that we've talked about from the beginning of class, so it should not have been a surprise that these were your assignments for week 4, even though I did not send you an introduction. Today what I'd like to bring to your attention is, if we go back to assignments, I'd like to go to week 5 because this is actually week 5. I did make some adjustments with the reading, so if you've already read Shapen chapters 3 and 4, you're fine. If you haven't had a chance to read them yet, make sure that you're reading them this week. There is also an article for you which is called The Power of Personal Relationships, and it was written by myself and Dr. Mowini. And this is going to be used for your discussion board for this week. Now, the discussion board for this week is The Power of Personal Relationships, and you're going to find the article right here. And basically what this is asking you to do is to relate this article to what you know so far about multicultural education. So in the article, the authors give you a 2-part definition of what personal relationship building is, and part A is the variety of ways teachers have of contacting students' personal worlds, and part B is the traits of teachers that seem to engender affection and regard in a relationship. Now, what I would like you to do is tell me which part of the definition do you think is most important in developing a multicultural classroom, and why. You can use the article, you can use week 5 presentation on personal relationships, you can use your experience, obviously you can use the information that you've read so far on multicultural education in Banks, and any other readings or websites that you've located to support your answer. There's also some supplemental reading in the course material, and I'll point that out to you in a minute, but you can use that as well. And please remember that I will be using the discussion board rubric in order to grade your assignments. Now, this discussion board is open until next Sunday, July 8th, and I will be closing it at midnight. Also remember, your Domain 4 discussion board is still ongoing. You are expected to make a minimum of 1 posting on the Domain 4 discussion board, whereas the Power of Personal Relationship Building, you are required to make a minimum of 6 postings over 3 days. This ongoing discussion board, you only have to make 1 comment or question, or reach out and connect with your colleagues for this one. Also, week 5 quiz is ready to go. So as you're reading, because there's a lot of information in Shapen in chapters 3 and 4, print a copy of the quiz. Jot down your ideas while you're reading. There are going to be questions which are going to ask you to relate it back to something that you read in the Banks book. You know, make your notes and then formulate your final questions. Type them up on the quiz that I have here, and then upload it to Blackboard when you are completed. Okay, so this is it for the assignments for week 5. If you go over here to course materials, now let's go over to course materials, and you'll see that there also is week 5. And basically what you will see here is 2 PowerPoint presentations for this week. We're going a little bit out of order. We've already done Marzano's Domain 3 and Domain 4. You've been reading on planning and preparing for the multicultural classroom. I'm going to skip giving notes and a presentation at this point until next week, so I'm jumping ahead and we're going into Domain 1. So the first thing that I have for you to consider, and another component to bring into everything that we're learning, is the introduction of the Done and Done learning styles model. And this is going to be important because your learning materials that you're going to be making starting next week is going to be based on the Done and Done Learning Styles model. So please make sure that you are listening to that presentation. Also is the Domain 1 presentation on personal relationship building. It will make sense to you if you watch the Learning Styles presentation before you watch the personal relationship building. Also in handouts is a copy of the Done and Done Learning Styles model, so you can either print the entire PowerPoint presentation and make notes to it, or you can just print out the model if you want to have a copy of the model. Also, before I actually send this out, there will be a section here with the video presentations and the link to YouTube so that you can watch these two video presentations. And then, of course, you're going to go to the discussion board and you're going to see the personal relationship building, and so far we've had one person who has participated, and then we have the professionalism and collegiality. We have 35 unread posts on my half. Yes, I've fallen behind in grading this, but I tend to be up to date by tomorrow night, the latest, which will be Tuesday, and then we're going to take it from there. So these are your two discussion boards that are for this week, so make sure that you're paying attention to these. And that is going to be it for week 5. Again, what I've done, if you go back to assignments, because I know some of you are planning on how you're going to get your work done while you're on vacation, or you want to get ahead. What I have done is I've gone ahead and I've posted the reading assignments for week 6, 7, and 8. Which will take us through the rest of July. Please remember you also have the ongoing discussion board where you have to make one comment at a minimum per week, so you can continue doing on that. But as I introduce material or assignments to you, and I think that you need a presentation in order to totally understand what's required of you, I won't release that assignment yet. So just take it easy. The only things which are time sensitive, and I know I've said this to you as individuals a couple of times, the only things which are time sensitive are the discussion boards. Everything else you can make adjustments. I'm giving you some structure in saying that this is a good time for this to be done, for you to move on. But if you need to rearrange some things because you're going on vacation, or you have a personal event, or you have some kind of emergency that happens, you're not feeling well, quizzes, writing assignments, those types of things are flexible. So if the quizzes are flexible, then your reading is flexible. You just have to do your reading before you take that particular quiz. So keep up with your reading, because you actually are going to be reading both books in their entirety. The Shapen book is really focusing on teaching and strategies, and then you'll see the Banks is really going to, when we get into the later half of the book, is really focusing on specific ethnic or minority groups and how they are related into history, and then how would you go about moving the curriculum to transitional or social action curriculum. So you know, read them as you get the opportunity. Don't wait for me to tell you that you need to be reading. Just continue on with your reading. So this is it for week 5. If you have any questions, please post them either on the ongoing Domain 4 discussion board or send me an email, and I try to respond to you as quickly as possible. So have a great week. I hope you're enjoying the information that you're learning so far, and I know it seems still to be a little bit disconnected, but as you'll see, as we start getting to week 6 and beyond, it'll all start to gel together, and you'll see how teaching social studies and multiculturalism and learning styles and Marzano are all going to start to fit together. So until then, have a great day.